The Forbes article, How Utility Companies Can Maximize Sustainability Using AI, shows how there is a lot of opportunity for utility companies to use AI to manage the complexity and unpredictability of renewable energy. The United States is seeing great success in renewable energy, such as solar, battery, and wind, but it remains short of its goals of reducing emissions. With further advances in AI, the United States could be on the path to sustainability. Now, one of the problems comes with weather patterns. Solar and wind energy are unpredictable because they depend on weather conditions. Solar panels don't generate electricity when it's cloudy, and wind turbines don't work when there's no wind blowing. This can destabilize the grid, and it's not designed for irregular energy flows. The other issue is bidirectional energy transmission. So traditional power grids were designed for one-way electricity flow, from the power plant to the consumers. But now with rooftop solar panels and electricity vehicles, electricity is flowing both ways. Homes with solar panels can send excess power back to the grid, and EVs can both charge from and potentially supply power to the grid. This makes it harder to manage the electrical grid. AI presents a solution. Digital twins, which are a subset of AI technology, are virtual replicas of machinery that are continually updated with data. Utility companies use them to model complex behavior, forecast renewable energy output, and scale personalized energy savings recommendations. This allows utility operators to anticipate energy generation levels and make decisions about when to rely on renewable sources versus backup power systems. Digital twins can also monitor when homes are sending solar power back to the grid, when EVs are charging or discharging, and automatically adjust grid operations to maintain stability as these complex energy flows shift throughout the day. With the use of digital twins, utility companies can pursue sustainability goals without compromising on consumer energy demands. Now, why is this important? 74% of Americans support efforts to reduce climate change, and 67% of adults support prioritizing development of clean alternative energy. In other words, the public is behind this effort to go green. Also, about half of all Americans live in places where electrical utility companies are required to increase their usage of clean, renewable energy. Many utility companies have committed to either 80% carbon reduction or 80% share of clean energy by the year 2030. In other words, they're required by law to increase their usage of renewable energy. Additionally, thanks to the passage of the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act, which lowers financial. So there's challenges and limitations. First, if the goal is to reduce emissions, things like the Inflation Reduction Act's tax incentives, as well as the local state mandates to go green, are only as effective as the political power behind them. Already, the House has proposed a bill that would eliminate most of the climate initiatives in the Inflation Reduction Act, taking away the financial incentives for utility companies to make the switch to renewable energy and reduce environmental regulations. One has to also consider the political impacts of lobbyists. Using wind and solar is not what reduces emissions. Using wind and solar in place of coal, natural gas, and oil is what will put the planet on the path to sustainability. So if lobbyists from those industries are effective enough, they can put political pressure on our leaders that makes the switch to renewable energy more complicated. Furthermore, the tax incentives from the Inflation Reduction Act are only available for utility companies in the United States, and emissions are produced globally. Utility companies might meet their sustainability goals, but to truly have an impact on the environment, high-emission countries like China, India, and Russia will need to do their part to reduce their carbon footprint. Also, the risk of an error is very concerning when it comes to energy. Should a technology with no human oversight cause a power outage, people can die. During the February 2021 Texas power crisis, at least 246 people were officially reported to have died directly or indirectly as a result of the outages, with some estimates putting the death toll much higher. While AI was not the cause of this particular power failure, it still goes to show that the stakes are high whenever we're dealing with energy. So if AI is going to be used, it needs to have expert human oversight. Thank you for listening to my presentation.